Anna Clara Schneider gave birth to her second illegitimate child in a second-floor apartment at 533 West 124th Street in an all-white, middle-class neighborhood of New York City on March 10, 1903. The birth certificate, signed by George A. Leach, M.D., recorded this date and gave the baby's name as Anne Boothe. It stated that her father, William Franklin Booth, a salesman, was 41, and incorrectly, that he had been born in Illinois. Her mother, misidentified as Anna Clare Boothe, and said to be 25, was, in fact, not William's wife and was 4 months short of 21. These little deceptions, which seemed to have no purpose unless to conceal bastardy, proliferated as the child grew. She soon became Anne Clare, and for inscrutable reasons was encouraged to celebrate her subsequent birthdays a month late. This pretense would continue throughout her life. When, at the age of 82, she was asked about it, she furtively explained, "Mother always said I was born on Easter Sunday. Besides, those born under the sign of Aries are always light-hearted and gay." She clung to the myth even when informed that April 10, 1903 was actually Good Friday, and that her true astrological sign was Pisces. Why did she persist, to the point that the wrong date would be chiseled on her tombstone? Was it just because her mother insisted upon it? Did she really see herself as light-hearted and gay when she was often melancholic? Did she ever ponder the coincidence that her father had been born on that date in 1862, and not in Illinois but in Poolesville, Maryland? Booming sounds of gunfire accompanied William Franklin Booth's entry into the world, for his place of birth was debatable land in the Civil War, an area crossed and recrossed by the armies of both sides. Poolesville was repeatedly shelled, and during these bombardments, Sarah Rebecca Deaver Booth would take her firstborn to the safety of the cellar until the cannonading stopped. Thrown together in a constricted environment, mother and son forged a close bond. She would later attribute her son's tempestuous, unpredictable personality to the turbulence of his early days. The Reverend John William Thomas Booth, records show that he spelled his name without an E at this point, had been assistant pastor at Poolesville Baptist Church since October 1861. His main duty was teaching in the parochial private school, where the curriculum covered all subjects from the 3 R's to Neoplatonism. He was a man who lived almost entirely in his mind. After William's birth, he wrote in his diary, "Studied Greek for 1 hour, read Latin for 3/4 of an hour, read 22 pages of 5th book, retired at 9. According to his son Edward, he was a striking figure, finicky about the cut of his jacket, and a crisp, energetic speaker, much in demand as an itinerant preacher at sister churches. In 1 year, he delivered 61 sermons, made 171 visits, distributed 1,050 tracts, and proudly reported an increasing interest in spiritual concerns on his circuit. But by 1864, Brother John was so war-weary and in such poor health from his constant travels that he resigned his pastoral post and moved north to study at the College of Rhode Island. Meanwhile, William was growing into a handsome, curly-headed boy with such gracious manners that mothers sought him out as a playmate for their daughters. He charmed adults, his brother Edward later recalled, with his "Yes'm to the ladies, no sir to the men, and when company is present, never pass your plate for pie again." Sarah Booth favored William within her growing family. There would eventually be 4 boys and 6 girls, indulging his whims and eccentricities. In turn, he loved her without condition.